So as I stated in my intro video, back about 5 years ago, my husband and I became more passionate about being self-sufficient and also moving away from buying items at the grocery store or prepackaged items to consume. And I was no Betty Crocker or Betty Homemaker or whatever the phrase is, and I definitely wanted to make homemade bread and different things, but I knew there was no way I would ever do it on my own. I didn't even like to bake cookies. So Black Friday came around and we saved up and I got myself a KitchenAid. I'm gonna say if you would like to make homemade bread or do more things from scratch, I've done pasta, a lot of different things, a KitchenAid is definitely a helpful tool. So one thing we love are bagels. So we're gonna do some homemade bagels, and I just wanna show you guys so much easier than you think it is. I'm telling you, when I started making homemade bread, I was like, why are people excited about this? It's really not as difficult as I thought it was. So this is something you don't need to be intimidated by. I wanna show you how to make bagels, because if I can do it, you can do it. We're gonna start off with a 1.5 cups of water, room temperature, and a packet of active dry yeast. It's this top one here. We're just gonna put it right on top, and then we're gonna sprinkle sugar on top of it and let it get nice and foamy. And while we're waiting for that to get foamy, I just wanted to say this recipe, it does call for bread flour, but you can do all-purpose flour. That was something I had no idea. I didn't know bread had its separate flour. I thought all flour was the same. Learned that there's a lot of different flours out there that you can use, but bread flour is what's best for this bagel recipe. But again, all-purpose flour is great. Good. I put 2 tablespoons of brown sugar in this bowl here, and I'm gonna combine, and then I'm gonna add 2 cups of my bread flour. From there, I'm gonna use my dough hook. I didn't know that for a long time. This is a dough hook. This is for dough. This is a paddle. That's what I call it. The paddle. A beater, I think that's what it's called. You don't use this for bread. I didn't know that, so I did for a little while. It turned out fine for me, but this is a dough hook, so we're gonna put that on for the bagels. Then we're gonna put this on the lowest setting. You wanna do bread on the lowest setting because otherwise you'll burn out your mixer, which I did the first time when I used. And as it combines, you'll add in more flour. Oops. All right, here we have it. I'm gonna cover it up and let it rise for 2 hours. All right, here we are. And now we're going to go ahead and drop our dough and punch it down, which is fun. Divided them as even as I usually can. And when you're putting this dough together in the shape of a bagel, you just kind of wrap it all together. And once I get it like this, I'm gonna lay it down on this side and just break a hole right in the middle. And I have my bagel shape. Then you're going to boil the bagels with baking soda and brown sugar. Once they're done boiling, you brush them with a raw egg and add any toppings you might like. These babies are going in the oven. Ooh, they look great. So now you can give it a try.